To bake or not to bake? That is the question. Hey guys! So this is episode 2 of Makeup Rules, where we're going to be discussing trends, topics, things like that, and the pros and cons of them, so you kind of get a better idea. You can have a more informed idea on whether something's going to work for you or it sucks. So today I'm going to go with baking, if you haven't figured that out from the title. I have faith in you guys. I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about. So to start off, what is baking? And I will put a picture over here. Let me move my head over. Put a picture. This is baking. Baking is basically just taking a crap ton of powder, usually a translucent kind of powder, putting it under your eyes. Some people like to do the bridge of their nose, anywhere that they would normally highlight, and literally just letting it sit there and letting the body heat kind of bake everything in so it lasts longer, it looks a little more perfect, and blah blah blah. So what most people don't know that is actually pretty interesting, the name baking actually came from the theater in the early 1900s. People, would have to use grease paints that are, if you've ever gotten your face painted with a grease paint, that stuff's intense and it's really hard to get off. But what they would do is they would paint their faces with this because that's the type of makeup they would have to use so you can see it from the stage from far away. And to set everything so that it didn't move, they would apply a crap ton of powder. They wouldn't leave it and then dust it off later. What they would do is they would go on stage, and because of the lights and how hot they were, it would actually feel like they were being baked in an oven. So that's where that came from. Can't say I didn't learn anything today. So when is it a good idea to bake? If you have very hydrated under eyes, if you're using thicker, heavier type of makeup, that's a good idea. If you're applying it a little bit thicker, it's a good idea. Because if you use a little bit less, it might not actually set your makeup. Or if you find that you crease a lot, because I know my boss, my old boss, she tried everything, and the only thing that would help is when she did bake, and then her foundation, her concealer under her eyes would stay. But on the flip side, it's not exactly a great idea when you have dry under eyes, if you're not going to be using heavy foundations just because it's really not necessary, or if the powder just does not work with your skin tone. I've had a few people come in, because I work at Sephora. I'm pretty sure I said it at some point, but I work at Sephora, and I've had a couple people come in and they want to try it, and I've shown them different things. They wanted to try different products, so they heard about things, and of course Sephora is the place you go when you want to put stuff on your face. So they would go ahead and do it, and depending on the skin tone it wouldn't work out because the powder is not deep enough. That's not saying if you have really dark skin, get a really dark powder. That's just saying if you have dark skin, don't go for what was it? What did she use? She used the Kat Von D under eye brightener, and it looked really ashy under the eye area, and she really wasn't a huge fan of it, so we tried something else and she actually did wind up liking it. But just like everything else, skin tone, skin type does matter. It does. And if you want to see how I feel about the whole is makeup art thing, go to the last episode. But basically, if you're going to bake, if you're going to do something like that, you have to keep in mind the occasion, why you want to do it, because for me, even now. I have really bad creases under my eyes normally, and baking accentuates that. You know, so if you have fine lines or wrinkles, there's a good chance that you're not gonna like baking. Try it, because you know, you only live once, and see what you think, but just keep that in mind that it might not come out the way you think it's going to. But yeah, that's all I got. So what do you guys think about baking? Would you try it? Would you not? What do you think? You let me know. But I am gonna have a tutorial for this look tomorrow, and I did bake while doing this, so you guys can see. You guys can get really up close and personal. Whoa, I'm out of focus. I'm out of focus. Wow, this is really bad. Hold on. There you go. You guys can see that, like, my under eye is crazy. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but meh. So I want you guys to let me know down in the comments, would you bake? Would you not bake? Do you think these trends are getting a little ridiculous? If you've been on BuzzFeed lately, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But let me know down in the comments below. And if you have any ideas for future episode of Makeup Rules, let me know. Of course, I'll give credit where credit is due. I'm not that shady. And I'll see you guys next time.